Hello, this is Steve from ObjectRiver. Today we're going to talk about generated code coming out of the compiler and some of the rules. The compiler acts the same across all of our products, whether it's WebSockets, REST, Web Toolkit, JDO compiler, PL/SQL, etc. The generated code always behaves the same, and we'll show you what we're talking about. So if we go here, I'm in an empty project directory, our Hello World example, and you can see it's a REST toolkit. It has 4 ways to do Hello World with path params, query params, etc. So I'm going to create a run configuration, and with the CloudCompiler plugin, I'm going to generate Java code in this example. Server. Pick the model, email, module, we say don't build. Okay, so I'm going to run the compiler here. Okay, that ran. It contacted Amazon and ran the compiler, and you can see it created a bunch of files. Created files for creating, the WAR file dependencies. It built some Ant dependencies for building, a bunch of Java code, and then some web stuff for creating a WAR file. And you can see it generated 31 files and almost 3,000 lines. Now we'll run it again, and we'll see what it does. So if we run it again, you're going to see a little difference here. You're seeing that it said it didn't overwrite these files. We call these create once files. And so we'll generate, like in this case, we'll generate this ant XML, a build file. And you can go in and modify this file, and the compiler is not going to change it, again, because you've taken ownership of it because it was a write once file. Another case, a good case here is this one. This is the endpoint client Java. This is an Apache HTTP code in there, and there's a bunch of different options that you might want to put in there of caching connections, etc. And so we'll generate a starter for it, and then if you need to modify it from our original, you can modify that, and the compiler won't step on it. These are all the server instances. Now we do mocking. These will contain random responses, so you can go in and change those, obviously, to put in your implementation. Now let's look at these stubs. We have a couple different kinds of stubs in the REST. We have I'd call it like a half stub and a full stub for the client. Let's say you want to take ownership of this full stub. You've got some other way that you want to handle the results in your client. So let's go and bring over the source code here. I'm going to go find that client code. And here's the full stub. And I'm going to make it read-only. So that piece of Java code is now read-only. Move that out of the way. Let's run again. Now what you're going to see is that piece of code is not generated because it's read-only. And you've taken ownership of this code because you're saying, hey, I want to own this, I want to change it, and the compiler will not crush it. So the compiler, this is kind of the generated code, and it works across all platforms. Doesn't matter what you're generating, whether it's HTML or Java, etc. This is the way the compiler works with respect to the files in your file system. And so that's it. It's as easy as that. Thanks for watching.